So I've been getting tons of questions on this new sharpening system that I got. It's called the KME Axe Sharpening System, and it's for people that maybe aren't that great with just a stone and doing it by eye. It's a controlled way to get the angles just right across your entire bevel. And this isn't just for carving axes. This is for camp hatchets, felling axes. It'll work for any of those. So basically what it is a heavily magnetized base that you either put on the pole of your axe or you can put at the top of your axe, and this swivels accordingly depending on where you want to mount it. And basically this rod goes into this stone carrier. You just thread it in, and it's got basically some stops on it, so you can adjust this to let me show you, to stop at a given point. And the whole thing works because of this ball here, and it keeps a constant angle across the entire bevel here. So basically the way you use it is to just drag it towards you. And you can see I've got a Sharpie mark here so you can see what's being removed. This axe, I literally have a couple hours worth of work into now. I used it for about 2 years. It's hand forged by Paul Kruskowski of Toronto Blacksmith. I used it for about the first 2 years or so of my carving, and this is before I knew really anything about sharpening or honing or stropping or anything like that. And over time, the bevel became rounded, which is a common problem. It means that you're not maintaining you're not sharpening flat across this bevel. You're doing it more in a rounded fashion, which for some axes people want a convex bevel, but for carving axes you definitely don't. You want a V grind, or a Scandi grind as some people call it, because if you end up with a convex bevel, every time you go to take a strike, you risk skipping off the wood instead of biting into it, because the belly, if you want to call it that, the belly of the bevel here will hit before the cutting edge does. So once you've completely changed the geometry, your axe is going to need probably a lot of work. If you use something like this, you could use something like a Tormek and have it done in probably a matter of minutes. But a Tormek is like $600 or something like that, and this was $134 for the entire setup here, which comes with 4 different grits of stones. There's an Arkansas fine stone, a couple medium stones, and then this diamond one that I'm using here for heavy stock removal. It also comes with a Sharpie so that you can, draw across your bevel here and see what's being removed. It comes with a shop rag. It comes with a different rod that is actually intentionally bent in case you want to put a convex bevel on any of your axes, and it comes with some honing oil and obviously some instructions in this booklet here. But this really is, if you're fixing one of your axes the way I am, it's a labor of love, and you're going to take thousands of strokes to fix your bevel. But this is the third axe that I've worked on with this system. I'm very pleased with it. The first one was my Granfersbrook Swedish carving axe, and that one, the original bevel was still intact on it, so that one took a matter of minutes and was not a problem whatsoever. Another axe that I worked on took a little bit longer because it had become convexed as this one has. And this one is, I haven't been able to use this axe in years because it's, it needed so much work, and I didn't have access to a system that would allow me to fix the bevel efficiently. I can go to town with, a Lansky puck, or, sandpaper blocks or whatever have you and try my best, but chances are I'm not going to be able to just by eye keep a perfect flat bevel all the way across. So that's why I bought this. These are $134 if I remember correctly for the entire kit, or if you already have the KME knife sharpening system and all you need is this piece here, I think it's like $50 or something like that just for this piece. And at first I thought, man, well, that's kind of expensive, but then I got to thinking about what a good axe actually costs. And I won't go into how much I have into the axes that I use, but let's just say that buying this was cheaper than buying a new axe. And I have probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 carving axes now. So I'd rather not buy a new axe every single time. The bevel needs to be reset on one of mine. I'd rather find a system like this, which aids me in not only bringing that bevel back, but once I have done so correctly and start using this axe again, I'll be able to maintain that flat bevel every single time I sharpen. So it's an investment money-wise, and it's an investment time-wise, but in my opinion, it is definitely worth it. As you can see here, there's not, let me wipe this off. To the naked eye, it probably doesn't look like there's a lot of marker left. Right here, we're pretty much done at the heel of the axe, but towards the toe, it gets worse and worse. And that's because not only has this become rounded, but the factory grind was not perfect. And as it goes with hand forged axes, generally they're not going to be perfect. I mean, there's jigs that people use that get a nice even radius across here, a nice even bevel rather, but these are still made by man. They're not made by machines, you know what I mean? Hand forged ones like this. So there's going to be a little bit of variance there. So that's basically what I'm trying to correct right now. It's very, very minimal right here, and hopefully you can pick up on the black edge right here, which doesn't look like a lot. It's maybe a 1/16 of an inch or less, but that is a lot of stock to remove, because you got to figure I'm removing, this is probably 3/8 of an inch or better wide. I'm removing that much material with every pass. So I won't finish this entire axe, on camera. I just wanted to kind of demonstrate how it's used, how much it costs, what the components are, and convey to you guys that I think it's totally worth it. I know a lot of people have problems maintaining their axes and keeping those bevels perfect as I do, and I figured I would just do a quick video and put it out there that this is a great system, and if you've got the means to get it and you're interested, the website is kmesharp.com. They have more than just this. They have other sharpening implements as well, but I got this in the mail in probably, 3 days or something like that, and I've been very, very pleased with it since I got it. It's not difficult to learn how to use whatsoever. Obviously, if you go to kmesharp.com, they have a YouTube video link if you go to the page that has the axe sharpening jig itself, and it'll go over more of its features than I need to, you know what I mean? Like you can swivel this around to change the angles, and obviously this knob here rides up and down to determine, the angle you need for your axe. And it's got graduations on here that you probably can't really pick up on camera, but like I said, go to kmesharp.com if you're interested in getting one, or at least just checking it out and seeing if you're possibly in the market for one. And drop a comment below and let me know what you think.